My name is Jennifer Gillman, and I'm president of Gillman Strategic Group. I'm a law firm matchmaker. I find just the right fit for law firm partners and solo practitioners at just the right firm for them in New Jersey. And I look at it as a marriage. It has to be the right match forever. I actually practiced law for about 12 years and I really enjoyed it very much, but I would get calls from other recruiters. Sometimes they seemed a little like used car salesmen, but some of them were really nice. And we would be talking about whether I enjoyed the job I already had and whether I was in the market for a new opportunity. And they would always end the call asking me, well, you really should work at our company. You would love being a recruiter. This is just the right thing for you. You would be a natural. And I would always say, well, I like being a lawyer. I'm really interested in the job you were describing or the job I already have, but thanks for asking. And the only reason I got into it was after the downturn in the economy, the part of my practice that I really enjoyed the best wasn't being done anymore, and my practice was changing a little bit. I was looking for an in-house job, and I was working with a recruiter, and I was in the third round for the job opportunity I was really interested in, and another recruiter called me and asked me if I wanted to apply for the same job. And I told him that I already had 3 interviews. I was waiting to be set up for my 4th round. He said, well, my guy only made it through the 1st round. I should have sent you. Why don't we meet for lunch next week and I'll send you the next time. So when we met for lunch, all he wanted to talk about was how I should come and work for him and be a recruiter. And I told him that I wasn't interested right then. And he said, well, if you don't get that in-house job, please promise me you'll give me 2 weeks. So I unfortunately did not get the in-house job, and I gave him 2 weeks, and that was about 10 and a half years ago. And all those people were right over time. I really did enjoy it, and it really was a really good fit for me. It doesn't feel like work. It feels like something I would do anyway. I think the most rewarding aspect of my work is how much of a difference I can make for the candidates I work with. It's a truly life-changing experience to go from being at the wrong place to being at the firm that's the exact right fit. And every candidate is surprised every time by how much better it really is and how much of an improvement they see. And I know that all of my hard work and all of the late night phone calls and weekend meetings and all of the things that I do really pay off in the end, because I think that those matches are for a lifetime. Candidates reach out to me when they've had a last straw moment. They've had to be at the office at 4 o'clock in the morning one more time, or miss that Little League game, or turn away another big deal that their firm can't work on, or not get paid what they think they're worth at bonus season. There's always that one more time. It's never the first time that they're dissatisfied. Sometimes it's candidates I've spoken to over time. We've kept in touch for many months, and they call and they say, all right, now I'm ready. This is it for me. I'm done here. Or sometimes they have that last straw moment and they get a recommendation from a friend, or they find me some other way and they call and say, all right, now I'm ready. It's usually after they've been feeling dissatisfied for a bit. I work candidate facing. I'm not against law firms. There are plenty of very lovely law firms out there and very nice lawyers. But the reason that I stay candidate facing is so that I can work just with that one partner candidate that I represent and find the exact right fit, no matter which firm it is in New Jersey, so that I don't have any particular loyalty to any one firm or another. First, we have a pretty quick call, and we decide whether I'm able to help. I know that lawyers bill by the hour and they don't have a lot of time to waste. So if I'm not able to find them a better match, they probably need to get back to working for their current clients instead. So we usually try to keep that to about 15 minutes. Once we decide that we're going to be working together, we have a much longer time together. I try to do that in person. I think it's very important to meet with my candidates and get to know them as well as possible so I can find them exactly what they're looking for. We talk about what it is they really want. Not everybody wants more money. Not everyone wants more time at home. People have their own very unique things that they're looking for. And whatever it is that that candidate is looking for is the right match, not what I think is the right match. And so we talk about that. What are the deal breakers? What are the nice to haves? We make a wish list. And I go back to my office and I do some research. Even though I know most of these firms off the top of my head that I might recommend, I want to make sure I don't miss any opportunities. I want to make sure they have the full array of firms that they might consider. I make a list and we narrow it down. We decide where the candidate is interested in applying. We get together on making sure they have a business plan prepared, and if they don't, I can help with that. And then I do everything else. They get to go back to work or back to their family or whatever it is that they're doing. I take care of doing the write-ups and scheduling the interviews and speaking with the firms and answering all the questions. I help prepare them for every interview. I debrief them after every interview. We decide which firms to move forward with. I get feedback from the firms. We move through all the rounds of interviews that are necessary. I help them with the lateral partner questionnaire, which is a fairly typical form that every firm will require. And then I negotiate the offers at the end. And I think I can be very effective that way, because it's very hard to ask for money for yourself. You come off as greedy, or maybe you don't ask for enough. It's a lot easier when it's a third party. Once we have the offers in hand, I meet with the candidate and we decide where the best place would be for that candidate. Sometimes the best place is staying where he or she already is. And sometimes the best place isn't the one offering the highest salary. It's the one that has the best opportunity for that particular individual. And I think that I've helped make very good choices for my candidates. When candidates work with me, they can expect a pretty dramatic change. I only work with candidates that I can really help, that I can really find the right fit for when I've determined that they're at a place that's the wrong fit. So typically they may be looking for one thing or another and find that they have many more results than they ever thought possible. So a candidate who feels like he'd like to have more time at home with his family might notice that not only is he in the office a little bit less, but he's being paid better and he's able to bring more things into the firm, so he's getting credit for more work, and his clients are much happier because he has one-stop shopping now. He doesn't have to send them all over the place. And sometimes it becomes a more dramatic overall change than the candidate was even looking for. But some of the things that we can solve are not being paid enough, not having the right team, not having the right resources at the firm, such as marketing professionals or something like that. A lot of times there are candidates that are at firms where they have to refer a lot of work out because their firm doesn't do a lot of the typical practice areas, and that's really hard for clients. They like to be able to talk to the same person every time. It's a lot easier for clients to be with one firm all the time. They like to be talking with that same law firm partner and be introduced to his or her partners and get all the work done at the same place and not have to be in the marketplace looking for a new lawyer all the time. There are also candidates who really want to be head of their group or really want to be involved in the strategic vision of a firm, or need to be at a firm that has a better strategic plan or some succession plan in mind. And there are so many different nice things that come out of changing just one of those things. And I think that candidates are often surprised at how dramatic the change can be. So I'm a law firm matchmaker, but I'm also a matchmaker in my personal life. I've had the fortune of making 2 marriages. Both couples were still very happily married, and I'm very happy that I got to be involved in that. The tradition says that I have to make 3. So I'm always on the lookout for that next couple, just in case you know someone.